All right, guys, what's up? What's good? What's happening? Another live stream today. This is our second one of the day. We do one for the Crypto Breakfast Club in the mornings. I'm with my buddy Crypto Mark in the house.
What's happening, guys?
Another great content creator, guys. I'm going to leave his I'm going to link his channel in the description. Actually going to go ahead and do that right now. I forgot to drop it in there, but I'm going to do it right now, so it'll be down there in just a sec. Make sure you guys go show him some love. There's so much going on with XRP, and my buddy here, Mark, watches what's going on with XRP like I do. We're both very interested in it, invested in it, and always following the news. And we create a lot of content around XRP. I mean, first and foremost, Mark, people are interested in it, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing to me, like just how many people are interested still in XRP, even amid like all of the craziness that's went on the last, whatever, 4+ years or whatever with the SEC. But we often forget, like back in 2017, this was the first big altcoin. This was the first big crypto outside of Bitcoin, Ethereum kind of stole the show in the meantime. And by the way, Crypto Mark's channel is linked down below, guys. Make sure you guys check it out. But a lot of people still think XRP has crazy high potential. And now with their stablecoin launch, which we'll get into that, XRP ETFs heating up, institutional demand and interest heating up. It's there's definitely a lot brewing. And people like to make fun of XRP's price, but I think it's a great opportunity because it doesn't fluctuate too much. There's not a ton of risk at 50 something cents right now, and I think there's a lot of reward right at these levels.
Yeah, I mean, like you talked about the people that are interested. Those people, I know personally, like 3 people who just own XRP and no other crypto. So, they're kind of immune to the more macro things going on. Quite frankly, that, I think that bother us, keep us up at night, because XRP is relatively stable. And even when the market was kind of before Bitcoin took off, XRP hit, that local high. What was it, like 80 cents? And everything else was kind of down. So they do have a potential to not correlate with the likes of Bitcoin. And, they're, I don't want to say immune to that Bitcoin dominance, but, because eventually it is all going to come full circle, but they didn't have, the bull run in 2021. So you call it price suppression, whatever you want to call it, but it's something where it's keeping them afloat, but they've always been a top 10 crypto. So that's never been the argument. It's just, when are they going to be allowed to be a crypto from regulators? So that's kind of the story that we've been talking about. And it's just a different chapter every day.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about this on the Breakfast Club. Real quick, guys, as we're going through here, make sure you guys can hear us both well. Mark, myself, make sure we're good. Boca G's giving you some love here, Mark. He said, Mark's top notch. Go subscribe. Yeah, Mark's links down below, guys. Go show him some love. We're friends IRL too in real life. So good buddies and both into crypto and both all about entrepreneurship, making money, finding ways we can navigate this crazy world. So Judge BB said, what's the news? We're going to get into it. Just make sure you hit the like button, Judge, and everybody else. If you guys are on X, I need you to repost it. Spread the word. I want to get as many people as we can in here. Already 228 people across
Awesome.
all the live streams we've got cooking. So that's awesome. Any news with Adrian Harris? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. We could talk about that. There's some very influential people at the Ripple Swell event right now that's going on. But we got a big news story I want to start with here on the screen here. Breaking news, the Central Bank of Russia has published a paper titled Digitalization of Payments and Implementation of Innovations in the Payment Market 2024. And they're highlighting Ripple's system for cross-border payments with XRP at the core. This is massive. BRICS is set to meet in 7 days. And this has always been kind of one of the argument, right, Mark? It's like crypto's global. Yeah, what's going on with the United States is kind of weird, and what they're going to do with XRP or not or whatever. No matter what, though, Ripple's expanding everywhere else. And if we're looking at it as a pure investment vehicle, we can put that luggage down. That's why XRP has potential, because there's a chance that, one nation uses this. There's a chance that 3, 4, 5, everybody uses it. I mean, we know the system that's in place is better than the SWIFT system. It's just getting governments to adopt it, and big institutions and big banks. So what's your take on kind of this news here out of Russia? I mean, we know they've been expanding pretty heavily in Europe and the Middle East, Asia, the APAC region, Asia Pacific region.
Well, I mean, that kind of, I think you got to read between the lines in that one, and not to piggyback off like the Cold War narrative, but that's what it was. It was never a battle. It was just a rise of innovation and a competition, almost kind of like what we have with China right now. And if you look, and that's referring to the United States, but if you look into this like kind of off face value, you can look at it as, the majority of the business that Ripple does is overseas, 90% roughly. So, it doesn't surprise me that Russia is getting involved. Within that, though, you have to keep in mind that it's back to that narrative I was talking about. That 10% in the United States, will that change if Russia is, seeing an angle here and they're shooting, into this conversation? And does the United States look to compete and allow Ripple to do more in the United States? Do they make it more opportunistic? Okay, well, we don't want you going abroad. That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. And it's funny because it's a U.S. based company, right? But they're doing most of their business outside the U.S. It's kind of
isn't it like everything though?
Yeah, true. Real quick, by the way, if you guys check out the screen, just so you guys know, we're running a little something special for you. We got a lot of other news events to get into here, guys. So make sure you stay with us, hit the like button, do all that fun stuff. Subscribe to Mark's channel, link down below. Definitely give our X's a look too, because Mark and I are both posting over there. We do our Crypto Breakfast Club, but make sure you guys check out that what's on screen there and get involved on that opportunity. But yeah, one of the other big topics was the stable coin, and some people asking, why is the stable coin so important? I think this headline right here really does a good job of just summing it up, and what this will allow. It's going to allow Ripple to leverage its position in the payments game here and be the key bridge for what we think is going to be, a $10+ trillion industry, which is the real world asset tokenization space. Larry Fink at BlackRock has been talking heavily about RWA ever since they were able to push their ETFs through with Bitcoin and Ethereum. The conversation has immediately shifted toward RWA. Now, in the meantime, we've had 2 people file for XRP ETFs after an appeal was made by the SEC, which is kind of nuts. Bitwise and Canary Capital. So you're starting to see the writing on the wall. And oh yeah, Grayscale put XRP in the large cap trust fund, and they gave them their own solo trust. Usually when Grayscale gives somebody their solo trust, that is literally a stepping stone toward an ETF. So it's kind of one of those classic where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
A lot of people think the next ETF will be XRP. And obviously the stable coin is going to be huge, not only just for bridging the gap here into RWA and tokenizing financial instruments, but also giving some competitive juices to the stablecoin market, because there's been some pullback there with Tether, like not being as open as they should or could be. USDC, not so much. We know it's backed by a company. We know there's 1-to-1 ratio or 1-to-1 backing there, the company behind that circle. But with USDT, it's a little bit more leery. So a lot of people, think that, hey, maybe RLUSD is just good for the market. The market should like competition. And if this is a race toward RWA, and who can get there first, Ripple's got a lot of the things in place already to be super successful here and be the leader here. So what's your take on all this? I know it's a lot, but what kind of comes to mind with stablecoin and ETFs and all of this?
Yeah, I mean, you can read between the lines and understand that the big players that control everything with not traditional finance, but we know at BlackRock, we know how much of a chunk that they control, and Grayscale, and we can talk about that. But that's something where they're getting a piece of the pie, and they see what potential there is. They recognize it. They want to be exposed to it, and that's kind of where they're positioning themselves for that. And that won't show up on the price action. It won't show up in your daily news. That's why you need to watch these live streams. That's why you need to do your own, exploration of what XRP is doing. But the biggest storyline with the stablecoin is that it's not necessarily the tier ones and whatnot. And I think there's a little bit of a kind of a tie-in where, USDC very, very much, lopsidedly involved with Coinbase being the number one. And then, obviously Binance in what they can provide. But that's going to be an interesting battle for that market cap as those two assets control like 90% of the stablecoin liquidity, basically. So we'll see what happens. I'd be curious if it actually is a negative for XRP. Like there's, it doesn't work out too well, or it fails or something like that. Like if it's something where, people are going to disbelieve in XRP if the stable coin doesn't get off the ground.
Yeah. Now the stablecoin, from what we're hearing today out of Swell, is that everything is basically ready to go operationally. Now the thing that they're going to need here is NYDFS approval. Yeah. Now a representative here from NYDFS is at the Ripple Swell event, which I think is interesting. Adrian, somebody just mentioned in a chat when we came on. Adrian Harris, maybe, whoever that person is. But this is who supervises and regulates activities of insurance companies, banks, other financial institutions in the New York State. So this could be, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's going to be interesting to see if RLUSD, the stablecoin, gets pushed through, considering a portion of the lawsuit isn't over yet, right? The programmatic sales or institutional sales of XRP still is ongoing, probably will be through most of 2025, maybe even into 2026. But this thing is pending launch. And I mean, Brad Garlinghouse was not wrong. He said it was right around the corner. And I had a feeling he was waiting to the Ripple Swell event to announce it. So they had some big news to drop, and that's exactly what we got. So it's going to be fascinating to watch this play out amid all of the other things that are going on behind the scenes with Ripple versus SEC. We're 21 days away from the U.S. election. This was a good tweet here by Rob Cunningham. A lot going on. He believes XRP FOMO is ahead. A lot of people do. That's one of the things that honestly drives me to like XRP a lot. It's the community. There aren't a lot of these big, large cap cryptos that have a community like XRP. You can argue it's the biggest one. Number one.
Other than Bitcoin, obviously, but
why do you think that is though with XRP?
They've been around for a long time, and I think that in that time period, you have to go back to that time period. There wasn't many options, and it's just like a testament to those people that I talked about that only hold XRP. They don't believe in crypto, but they believe in something much more with what XRP provides. So that's kind of the storyline there. I think it's in its own category, and that's what I always say in my videos, that it's in its own category. It's not traded the same as normal crypto. It's not necessarily traded, period. I mean, a lot of these people have not sold, and that's kind of the issue of it not going up too, is they're not buying more technically necessarily. So it is what it is, but it's the courthouse holding us back. That's kind of where it leads to a lot of buy the rumor, sell the news, because nobody's willing to make that leap forward and get out of that umbrella that's just in that shadow that's just weighing XRP down. So it can't be a crypto. It didn't have 2021 because it was in the courthouse. And here we are again in 2024 with arguably, the biggest step forward we have in regulation if, X president gets elected versus Y president. So, not to name names, but we can all connect the dots on that one. So it's a wait and see approach, but I do think that, it's not financial advice, but if XRP does get out of that cloud, that shadow of a doubt that they're going to be able to operate business as usual. It is just absolutely monumental what they can do for real world, assets and tokenization of assets and all that narrative that you could see crypto is shifting towards.
I agree. And we're scrolling through Mark's channel here, guys. Make sure you guys show him some love. Links down below to his page. I agree 100%. I mean, and somebody asked in the chat, like, why, or you think people are getting fed up or no, I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's firing people up even more, because while this appeal is kind of frustrating, there's been way more victories for Ripple versus SEC. And a lot of people have the narrative and idea that this is kind of like the last straw. It's like the final ditch effort. And really, they're just trying to get out maybe more money out of Ripple before it's all said and done and a precedent set. And I think there's probably some merit to that. I think what we've found is, in looking at this like holistically, I think people can see and feel the utility of XRP and Ripple, right? Where a lot of these other layer ones, they're like, how does this really differentiate, from Ethereum? Like, why do we need another smart contract platform? Why do we need another this or another D app that does this? Ripple doesn't have any competition, really. I mean, in the blockchain space. I mean, nobody's doing it at their scale. Nobody's been around longer. Nobody has built up the already existing partnerships with banks, institutions across the world, governments. So I think that's the reason why one of the reasons why this base is so loyal, why they're so intrigued and interested and bullish on the future, regardless of, the short-term price action we see, which, let's just call it what it is. It's not great, but we have been in an uptrend since July, as you guys can see. I mean, we had our momentum up flash on XT Algo, my trading indicator, way back in July at 47 cents. And, this has proved to be, over time, a 15% move. But if you would have sold here at different spots, obviously, there you go. But last year we had the big pop that you referenced, Mark, all the way up to almost $1, 94 cents we wicked up to. But we have been on a slight uptrend. And even when the market has pulled back quite a bit, there was the big pullback when the whole thing happened with Iran and all of that, which tanked the markets. Look at the consolidation and the slow uphill climb that XRP has had. It's very stable, even on these market pullbacks. So I think when you look at the risk versus reward here, all the bulls come in at 50 cents. We've seen it bounce off 50 cents a lot. You're sitting here at 54 cents thinking, not a lot of risk here at 54 cents with what they do, with what could happen. And the upside here is tremendous. That's why, I've got a bunch of open positions on Margex too, some leverage spots, 18x, 20x. These are all XRP positions except one here. And I'm up, 89% on this one right here on a 20x XRP spot. Look at that. We opened it up at 51 cents. Couple other ones opened up at 52, 53 cents. We're up on those too. My Margex link's down below if you guys want to come trade with me over there. No KYC. But that's one of the reasons why I like it. And I feel like, a lot of people have probably the same sentiment. It's when this thing does break, it can move in a hurry. And we saw that a little bit last year, back in July, where we had, 100% move in a couple of hours. One final thing too, Mark, back in 2021, this was something one of my listeners said. I want your thoughts on this. One of my listeners said this the other day, even back in 2021, when you couldn't buy XRP anywhere, right? In the United States, we went to $2. We went from like 16 cents to $2 last cycle we topped out at. And that was amid the darkest days for XRP. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. So who's to say we couldn't get to $4 or $5 at some point this cycle as we move into 2025? You can buy it on Coinbase. We know it's not a security. It's listed on Coinbase. It's just the programmatic sales issue they're dealing with. So from the retail side, the gates are wide open here. So $4 or $5, I think, you're looking at a potential of a 10x from these levels with maybe even more upside if you get some big partnerships or United States comes around and says, hey, you know what? We're going to drop the lawsuit. We're actually going to start utilizing this technology, which I think is a real possibility. You get an ETF. some point from now in the next 8 to 12 months. I mean, there's a lot of things that could really move this price, especially where we are. What are your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, I mean, like how I view XRP in its own category, they are necessarily probably one of the only cryptos, if you consider them a crypto, with actual utility, like tangible, actual, like real world utility. Not a lot of cryptos have that right now at this given moment. And that's partially the reason why they're staying afloat, partially why they're immune to macro trends like in a lot of volatility is because people just don't care. They're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, Boca agrees with you. He says we need XRP to move independently of Bitcoin, which it kind of does on some level. I'm all for Bitcoin's price discovery, but XRP will move independently once it's clear of the SEC and regulatory restrictions. I agree. Do you think if this case still goes on and Ripple decided to move out of the US, what will happen to the XRP holders in the United States? That's a good question. Mark, I'm giving that one to you. That's an interesting angle. I think there would. Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I don't think they would get that far. I mean, they're kind of established, and it's something where you'd get into this. It'd have to be something where it was a threat to something that the United States is doing and profiting from doing, and it would have to be a threat to that for them to, want to basically block them from transacting. Similar what we get with exchanges. If you don't approve of their regulatory body, if you don't approve of their business practices, then they essentially get blocked out. But so maybe that is something where it's like, okay, we lost the appeal, whatever, just worst case scenario comes about from this trial. Then, Ripple takes their business elsewhere. Then, United States customers can't use XRP. And then all of a sudden it becomes like almost a trade war of kind within what technology that they're trying to unleash to the world. And I just don't see it getting to that point, because at some point you have to call a spade and realize that it is what it is. And, just pay the fine, move on, and just, go from there.
Yeah, Boca, we were talking about how XRP kind of fits into all this. Yeah, RLUSD will transition through XRP kind of as a intermediary there in that process, but a very, very fast process, not like moving money from bank to bank or whatever, through XRP as it moves point to point, person to person, peer to peer. So, yeah, XRP isn't a smart contract platform. It's a remittance. Correct. Yeah, my point was there's really no competition in the remittance platform space outside of XRP. Whereas the smart contract space, you've got the 800-pound gorilla in Ethereum, you've got Solana, you've got Cardano, you've got Avalanche, you've got a lot of players trying to vie for spots there. Whereas XRP really doesn't have too much competition. I mean, you've got a few out there. Alchemy Pay is one that comes to mind. But other than that, I mean, it's very niche, where XRP could be a solution for everybody. So yeah, let's see here. We need to get Bitcoin to price discovery, then it'll pump. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that, Rick. I mean, Bitcoin will bring up the rest of the market for sure. And I mean, that's what we saw last cycle too. But I do think this go around is going to be a little different. More of a macro question here for you, Mark. Back in 2021, which I know you were in the market like I was, you could throw a dart and hit bullseye, like at certain time periods back in 2021. Are we still in that kind of thing, or do you have to be more strategic, like on like what you're buying? I mean, meme coins thus far have drastically outpaced utility-based altcoins. But I mean, where do you think we're going? Do you think it's going to be a case where everything will just move up like crazy again, or you think it's going to be concentrated in certain areas? Like we're seeing SUI, maybe that one is going to be one that just completely outweighs some of the other new layer ones. Maybe XRP can benefit from this if that amount of money is concentrated more on certain things rather than a little bit everywhere like it was back in 2021.
Yeah. In my opinion, the issue is that there's way more crypto. And so you're throwing darts at smaller spaces, if that makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's, tons of cryptos that have great technology, and, for the majority out there, a lot of crypto it's just code. So, people compare crypto to the .com bubble, and, how there was a lot of winners and a lot of losers. It's very similar. It's just highly advanced code. And that's kind of, you look into that, and yeah, we're throwing darts, but it's harder to hit. It's a smaller window, and it's just easier to miss because there's more spots. So when you talk about XRP and talk about other ones like Bitcoin and whatnot, I just think that they have not changed. They're still bigger. They're still the same opportunity, the same size space on that dartboard, but we're still, diluting the market caps, and that's kind of where the pie gets spread out with more opportunity. And then obviously there's less to go around, even into the main players such as, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP.
Yeah, for sure. And so many of the people in XRP, are maxis, for a lack of better words. And we look at that and we're like, okay, personally, I invest in a lot of stuff, meme coins, everything. I try not to shy away, but I see the value in XRP, and I think so many people fail to see it because it doesn't move like a meme coin or whatever. It's a different type of investment. You're betting on something much, much bigger and long lasting than hoping a meme coin can stay longer than a couple weeks. It's just a different type of investment, and we see it. I mean, we see it in making our videos, right? It's a different type of investor that invests in XRP, that watches these videos like this on your channel versus Dogecoin, and that's completely fine. And then there are people that, like ourselves, that are kind of like hybrids that invest where they see opportunity, right? I mean, outside of XRP for a minute, Mark, where do you see the biggest opportunity this cycle, just from an investment standpoint?
Well, put me on the spot, but within that goes to the dartboard narrative. I like to call it the sweet spot, and it's not financial advice, but I just consider crypto in a couple different categories. So like you have your blue chips, then you have like that sweet spot where they're great technology, great companies, if you will, and they have the opportunity where they're just haven't, they're either new or they just haven't really got down their roadmap. And that's like in that, you know, 12 to 15 to 35 range where they're still small enough where there's a lot of growth potential, and also where you can make the exponential growth. Excuse me. And then you have the other ones that are a more smaller cap that just like explode in the top 100. So that's just what I mean by there's three different categories. And for me, it's always that 12 to 35, that range. And just to name a few off of that list, that would be, Caspa, SWE. Those are two that I think are very innovative and unique. SEI is another one. And, if you believe in the AI narrative, then obviously the ASI token as well. So that's kind of where I'd be within that short list of what I'm looking at. Yeah. So.
Boca said, just use the cult word, Zach. Yeah, you guys are pretty cult like, and Boca's become a heavy cult member in recent years. But hey, I think there's merit to it. I mean, I just wouldn't shy away from other opportunities like some of the ones Mark just mentioned. I took some big profits on SUI today. Is it SUI or what is it? How'd you say it? SUI?
Sweet.
Yeah, SUI. SUI. I took some heavy profits on SWE this morning. They've got a big unlock coming up, so there's probably going to be some volatility, some price swings or whatever, but I'm going to be heavily invested in that one. Caspa, same thing. I mean, got in that one at like around 4 cents and rode it up, took some profits at the top near 20 cents, but still have a huge position. It's like I just think you miss out on opportunities when you don't look everywhere. And XRP's one easy to me. I just hold it. I just hold it with the mentality of, hey, I know what's behind here. I know the potential it has, and I'll trade it in the short term over on Margex on my leverage trading platform, no problem. And I'm using my indicator that helps me kind of know when things are breaking out or breaking down, right? I mean, zooming in here, like on the 4-hour, there's little opportunities all over to trade XRP. Like back here, in September, this run up, we had right in here like a little 10% move. Doesn't feel like much, but hey, I mean, if you're going in here, 10, 15%, that's massive compared to the stock market. So, there's opportunity everywhere. I think with XRP, you're betting on something that's solidified. You're betting on something that's been around that you could see, touch, and feel. And I think a lot of people like that. And I think I told you this story, Mark. We were just in Vegas together out there, and we got dropped off the airport yesterday. And guy said he just watched my XRP video. There are a lot of people who are. Here's the point. There are a lot of passive crypto investors that only invest in XRP.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting? It's just I guess it is kind of cult-like in a way. It's like they don't look at anything else. They just look at XRP and they see what it is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily. It's fine. I mean, and for that reason, I want to invest in XRP too. A lot of people see value. Let's see here. Going back to Rob's post here. We'll follow him too. Let's see here. What else does he have? Ripple Swell event going on. Just kind of talking about some of the use cases, some of the catalysts right now for XRP. This was interesting. London is ready for Ripple. They had a ton of these images floating around. So Ripple doing quite a bit in London with their marketing strategy. What do you make of these ETFs? We didn't really dive into that. I mean, what do you make of these ETF filings? A couple of them already here, even with the SEC appealing. I mean, do you find that interesting? Like Bitwise and Canary Capital going in already? I mean, are they trying to just maybe get a leg up? Do they know something we don't know? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just jockeying for position. Nobody wants to be late, and that means nothing other than just paying people to make that up. So it's you don't want to be late to the party. So whether or not it goes down doesn't really matter. It's available right now. It's just not available in the classification as an ETF, but you could still basically get an ETF. It's just not in the United States on that exchange. So it's something where that's kind of the take home message, I guess, is just you don't want to be last, and because you'll lose out on profits, you'll lose out on money. So that's just how I view it.
It's kind of interesting when you search Google World Bridge Currency, XRP is exactly what comes up first. Somebody asked, why aren't they live streaming the Ripple Swell event? I don't know. That's why we wanted to go live, though, give you guys some content. So if you guys haven't hit the like button, do that. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do that. If you haven't subscribed to Mark's channel, definitely do that, where he's getting close to 10K. And then we got a nice little airdrop going on right now over on X as well. So one of the stipulations is following the crypto mark, and you'll see that pinned up on my stream here. Actually, now you will. Now it'll be pinned. So make sure you follow the 4 easy steps here and show us some love here. I want to get crypto mark up to 1,000 followers here, and then hell, let's get to 9K by the end of the stream. That would be insane. That would be nuts. But hey, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what other news events come out of Ripple Swell, and I just think there's a lot of smoke right now with ETFs and stablecoin and where the price action has been. I just think it's one of the best bets in crypto right now. I mean, zoom out here, look at the weekly chart even. I mean, when you look at this, we have essentially been in an uptrend.
Yeah.
I mean, since the bear market.
Yeah, I talk about that a lot.
I mean, that's the weekly chart from when we bottomed out, Mark, back in July 2022. I mean, yeah, it's consolidated quite a bit here with a couple pops, but again, like, we're not far away from I think seeing a $1 to $2 XRP, it's not going to take much. And we know it moves on big news events. So, and we got a lot of, potential catalysts there with ETFs, stable coins, and
yeah, I don't do much TA, but I do share that a lot on my videos and XRP content. If you do zoom out, it's been like two and a half years basically. Every time you could draw that blue line, it's very easy to do so. And every time you do it, look at the drop offs and the sells, and it always bounces off of that blue line that is slowly ascending. Dating back over 2 years. So that kind of plays the narrative where I don't really quite understand why people always say XRP is dumping, XRP's, scam, XRP selling off, because go back 2+ years, it's really outperforming a lot. It is just continuing ascend. It's a slow and steady growth, but there's a lot of other cryptos that can't say they're doing that basically. And I mean, we're not making it up. You can look at the chart yourself. You just click the line and you can draw it. You can make whatever color you want. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, 100%. And we're using some tools with XT Algo. You guys can check out that link down below. And again, we're trading on leverage with XRP short-term stuff, utilizing that tool, and then coming over to Margex. No KYC in Margex. Link down below. You guys can sign up, get access to free airdrops. So if you're in the market for a leverage trading platform, check it out. Mark's got a link on his channel too to Margex. You can sign up using his link if you want to show him some love. I'm totally cool with that. Actually, go show him some love. I got some people trading over there. So if you guys are wanting to sign up at Margex, go over to Mark's live stream, and you should see you got your link down there, right? Assuming.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, check out Mark's Margex.
Check out that copy trading leaderboard, because that's
that is nice.
It is something where even if you don't, I mean, I guess I know how to trade on leverage, but I guess I'm just not in love with the fact of leverage for crypto. I think it's not necessarily a good thing, but it is good because you can make money doing it. And these people are, so you could literally just copy each and every move they make. And like we always talk about, the numbers don't lie. Almost 2000% ROE. So
insane. Yeah. This little trade is always up there. Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. Don't over leverage yourself when you're leverage trading. I mean, I take the money I would take to the casino or whatever, and I leverage trade with it. I'm still buying my Bitcoin every day. I'm still stacking my blue chips. Still making my active trades. And then, with a little portion of the pie, I come over and see what I can do on the leverage trading side of it using Margex. So again, Mark's got his link down there as well in his description of videos and all of that. So check out his Margex link, sign up today, and it's totally free to get started. You're going to get access to free airdrops. Start with a small trade, start with a $10, whatever, 10x leverage trade, get used to the platform, all of that. So
not financial advice. I screw around with Solana, and some of the volatile cryptos that Solana's been kind of my cash cow this year, just trading it, and we were calling it out basically, not telling people to buy it, but just saying we were buying it. And that was when it was $19. And this isn't, and I did that all the way up to $123 and just got out and just been stacking it and not, it's just different cryptos are built for different ways to trade. You have to be able to adapt to kind of each crypto and what you can do with that crypto. And that's why we're talking XRP right now, but I'm not going to trade my XRP like I do Solana. It's not apples to apples, and it's two different mindsets and how I approach that. So just sharing that with everyone.
No, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah. Not financial advice, guys, entertainment purposes only. We're just a couple YouTubers who are degenerates, and Mark's even got a sports betting channel. He's a huge degenerate. So you guys can check that out too. If you're interested in the betting side, sports betting, he's got the Better Mark, great channel over here too. He's got it linked on his crypto channel. So go show him some love on that channel too. But yeah, I mean, we're just navigating these waters together, and it's good to kind of stay up to beat on the news and get ideas and use that to kind of inform how you want to kind of go about the markets. Speaking of news or insights here, somebody was asking about SWE and why I took a bunch of profits today. By the way, that money's going to sit in USDT, and I'm just going to sit there and wait. But SWE, they're getting ready to have a big unlock. So Swee's been going nuts. Yeah, just flipped Tron. It's set new all-time highs. This guy laid it out perfectly. There is a dark side to this, though. 70% of the token is still locked, 72, which sounds bad. Generally speaking, this is a big red flag. The next unlock is in 18 days, November 1st, I think. So that is why people are scrambling a little bit. Sui's doing almost $1 billion in trading volume a day right now. Here's the thing. Who knows what'll happen? It's just however you want to look at that. I'm just deleveraging a little bit, took my profits. I'm still well up on the trade, and I'm holding my basis plus some in there. But I took about 60% off the top today, full profit. I'm happy with that. I'll set it in stablecoin and wait for another opportunity to come. If it's SWI, it's SWI. If it's XRP, it's XRP. Like if XRP were to fall down to 45 cents or whatever for no apparent reason or whatever, even if it, looked like it was something or whatever, I would go buy more XRP at those levels. Like go where there's value, and take profits when you're up. Like that's just my philosophy. I'm not telling you what to do, but that's just kind of how I actively navigate and move around in the altcoin space. But let's see here. Where is XRP? Still ranked number 7. Wouldn't take much. We actually saw XRP flip USDC not too long ago. It's kind of right there, market cap. But it's been hovering here for a while, man. I just think eventually we're going to break loose. Let me ask you this. Where do you think the market cap could go if things got crazy? If things just got crazy in a good way for XRP, where do you think we could go at the top of this bull run? Let's say the top is somewhere in 2025. Where do you think we could go? XRP sitting at 30 billion right now. 31.
You want to hear the honest answer?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously it's just my opinion, but it's going to go at the same percentage uptick that we've been doing the last 2+ years. I don't think it's going to go anything drastic until we get out of the courthouse. And I know that's probably not a popular opinion, and everybody here that holds XRP is probably watching and wondering why we're so bullish on it if we don't think it's going to go anywhere. But because I don't think it physically can until we get out of that shadow of a doubt, until they basically get runways all clear for takeoff from the SEC, from regulators, from all the appeals. It's not going to be able to go. I just think it's handicapped right now by what's going on in the courthouse. And until we get out of that shadow, it's just going to be basically underperforming the rest of the market if they're in a bull cycle, just like we did in 2021. So,
yeah,
no, it's just, that's not FUD, and because the normal crypto rules don't apply. If it's underperforming, it's not because of something they're doing or not doing. It's just physically unable to have a stimulus. It's just going to be dormant. And I think that now that's the other side. That argument is if it does get out of the courthouse and Bitcoin goes down to 30,000, hypothetically, then XRP doesn't necessarily have to go down to 20 cents. It could do the opposite, and it could double in value because it's not all priced in yet.
No, that's a really good point. And I think I'd like to hear from the rest of the audience here. So drop your comments on this, because I think this is one that everybody likes to weigh in on, whether it's, your market cap prediction, if all goes well, or price, or kind of what type of things, like Mark alluded to, could impact the price. Will it take until we have a final decision or completely out of the courts? What are your guys' thoughts? Let us know in the comment section down there. Boca said, I'd buy a shit ton at 40 cents. Yeah. Never buy high. $24, Rick says. They know, and they will buy it early when Trump gets elected. I mean, that's something we saw this morning. Trump took the biggest lead by Polymarket's numbers this morning. Bitcoin pumped almost to 68K this morning. Then it sold back off. But look at this. We're pressing back up right now, getting close to 67. It's turning into October a little bit, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden. Yeah, which is good. We sold off at the beginning of October. Where did we come in to start the month? Basically came in right here about 63. So yeah, we're in an uptrend right now. This $66,000 number, by the way, for Bitcoin, because it does impact everything, is very, very important. We have been rejected here like 3 times since July. Right in here, right in here, right in here again in September. So breaking through this, man, look out, because then we could start having the all-time high Bitcoin conversations. If we can comfortably get over 66 and show some strength, it's been a tough resistance for us, but we're back up on there again right now. So we'll see kind of how that plays out the rest of the week. This is a good comment. Yeah, you can't change the world overnight. Exactly. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. Same principle. And I think people lose sight of that in crypto, especially with what XRP is building, what Ripple's building, and how XRP is being utilized. It's literally, they're revamping the finance system, which, is not an easy task. So this man speaks the truth. If you like him that much, better subscribe to his channel, right? So if you like what Mark's dropping in here, you better subscribe over here to his channel. There's a link down below to his X and his YouTube page. So check it out over there. Oh man, I'm at a loss here. What else am I missing here? I know we're getting close to the top of the hour here, but what else is on your mind here with XRP, Mark, or maybe something, rest of the market or whatever?
Yeah, just I think we just got a little bit of a delay to, like, you call it October, whatever. I just call it a historical data point. But I think we're just kind of on like a little bit of a rain delay, and that's just a testament to the Middle East conflicts that's going on. That picked up, if you remember before that, I mean, it looked like October is right on schedule, and nobody's trying to put thousands of dollars into volatile digital assets on the cusp of World War III or whatever. It's crypto's not, you could say, well, we're across the pond in the United States, but it's all impacted. It's all, ebbs and flows. And as soon as that kind of got out of the mainstream news, and look what happened. We've had like 3-4 days of strong green days. Today's kind of I think a correction day. Bitcoin's up and everything else is down, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily an unhealthy move into the red. It's kind of a necessary move into the red. It's not going to be 2021 again, where, every day you wake up, you're up 10%. It's just, not going to be like that, but crypto is ever cyclical. And, it's just, there's good days and bad days. And today's just kind of a neutral day.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I do think it's coming.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting news here. Canary Capital also just filed for a Litecoin ETF. So it looks like they're going all in on some of the top cryptos with ETFs. This is what I was referencing earlier. Trump now up 12 points, another all-time high on call sheet. A lot of people think this is the reason why the market could pump. Trump definitely seems like he is more crypto friendly, in at least the things he's saying. I was out there at Bitcoin Nashville. We'll see if some of those things come to fruition. But what Bitcoin did, obviously, during his presidency was a big thing. And some people will say that's just cyclical. I think it's kind of, there's two things going on at once there. But we do need clarity, I think, on the altcoin space. And I think coming back to XRP, this is the case. I mean, this is the one, I think, that is going to set the precedent for the entire altcoin market, right? And I always say this, like pun intended, it's going to have ripple effects on the rest of the market. And we're kind of waiting to see, what exactly that looks like. Outside of Ethereum, I guess, well, outside of Bitcoin, you probably have the most clarity right now on XRP and Ethereum. Other than that, it's kind of like, well, what is this? What do we do with it? Still kind of the wild, wild west. But guys, I think that's where we'll put an end to it. I think we covered a lot of ground. So if you guys got some value, make sure you guys hit the like button here on your way out if you haven't already. People will watch this on the replay, and make sure you guys are showing your support to my co-host here, Mark, and he's got his channel down there. I linked the channel and his X page down there. Give him a follow on X, subscribe to his YouTube channel, and again, check out his Margex link. I've got mine too if you guys want to start trading with us. But Yeah, I think this was great, man. Thanks for stopping by, Mark. We'll be doing these more often, brother. And
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, appreciate everybody listening. So we'll see you guys.
Peace.